Verzeo, your one-stop solution to everything learning.
Yeah, welcoming one and all. Welcome to Verzeo Premium webinar series once again. And as we all gather together on this online meet for interesting topic that we have already informed you upon, the topic is why the crypto world and social media will consume a massive wallet share in the future. And we have a special guest who is already sharing his screen and who had already addressed you, Mr. Pratimesh Joshi. And yeah, he's the panelist of today. And to tell about Mr. Pratimesh, currently he is a strategy professional at CRED, and he's an NIT and IIM alum. And Pratimesh brings an diversity of 4 year of consulting experience across domains like fintech and asset management in JP Morgan and analytics. And along with this, he's a national basketball player and finance strategy enthusiast. And if you guys check out his Instagram page, I think you would be able to get to know more about him, how fit he is, and I believe he does gym and workout regularly also. And he strives to propagate an all-around lifestyle for working professionals by providing fitness and financial strategy tips. I think you are beneficial of few of the tips in this today's session also. And that's what I would recommend you to check him out over LinkedIn and Instagram. We will be posting the links in the chat later on. And yep, that was a pretty short intro about Pratimesh, and handing it over to you, Pratimesh, so you can take the gathering.
Sure. Thanks, Ajay. That was a really uplifting introduction. Probably not at all humble by my means. So, guys, take it with a pinch of salt. Definitely haven't achieved so much, but yeah, I think still good enough to be on the webinar with Verzeo. Let me quickly share my screen. Just a second, guys. All right. Okay. Sure. I think this view is better. All right. Guys, quickly moving forward, how I have designed this is, firstly, I just posted a questionnaire. The reason for that was to actually see how you have been pursuing your careers as of now, and also what will be the structure of this webinar going forward. So essentially, that is for my reference. And before moving forward, I would just want to tell you guys the flow of this webinar. I'll start with a few career tips from my journey across different worlds, right from national basketball to ending up at fintech strategy at CRED. Secondly, I'm quite bullish about crypto, so I would want to also bring you guys up to speed, if in case you are not, in terms of what are the use cases that crypto has in the current scheme of things and how it will pan out in the future. And lastly, if we have time, we'll also venture into the social media side of things and how social media will be a big proponent of Web 3.0. So without further ado, let me just quickly begin with my career journey. All right. So if you see here, I started with my schooling from Air Force and Army school, pretty much very basic defense schools, and got a lot of exposure on the basketball side of things, sports, pretty much a lot of sports. And after my 11th and 12th, I gave my IIT, JEE and EIEEE, and finally got into NIT Nagpur and chose chemical in the very first year. And within the first year, I got exposure to nanotechnology, and it was a stream related with material science. And thus, my very first pivot was shifting from chemical to materials in the very first year, like after the first year. So that's where my pivoting journey within the career started. And after, let's say, after working for 3 years, or probably educating myself for 3 years during my BTech in materials engineering, I secured a direct PhD offer from Carnegie Mellon University and HKUST. And I actually went to these universities to see what is the scope of my research. And there I went and I realized that it required us 7 years of commitment just to publish my PhD thesis. And even post that, I wanted to work in the industry side of things. But for some odd reason, the faculty there were more inclined towards pursuing a doctorate. So I had to make a decision, and that was my second pivot, going from materials engineering to something on the consulting side of things. So I came back to India, and fortunately, I had an offer in management consulting at Fractal Analytics. So I pursued that for the next 2 years. And in these 2 years, I had great learnings. I was working with Procter and Gamble as my client, P&G. I'm pretty sure you must have heard of P&G. And my projects were mainly based on trade spend analysis. So essentially, how P&G should portray their promotions, buy to get one, or probably something on those lines, to actually earn a lot of revenue, what to enhance their return on investment, to be honest. And that's what got me interested in finance. So after 2 years, I wanted to venture into the finance field. So that was the third pivot, and that's why I started preparing for my CAT. And somehow I ended up with a decent score in CAT, and I got into IIM Ranchi. Now, within the very first year of my tenure at IIM Ranchi, I was exposed to strategy subjects, corporate strategy and business strategy. And I could see that finance had a very huge impact on strategy, but finance in itself was a very narrow, or probably a very niche segment, which I didn't feel like venturing into after that. So the next pivot, again, the fourth pivot, was towards strategy. But so I started my research, and the research was that the top three consulting firms or strategy firms are McKinsey, BCG, Bain, MBB, and these three firms did not recruit from my college. So I tried to see a Trojan, or rather a different point of entry, a lateral point of entry towards strategy. And I could see that investment bankers were one of the professionals who always got into the strategy side of things quite quickly. So I started searching on those lines, and somehow I got to know that on our campus, JP Morgan and Chase is one of those companies, the very first company to come on campus, and it provides it offers this investment banking role. Uh, and I think that was my chance. And within the first year, I started preparing for it, and fortunately, I cracked it. And once I joined investment banking, pretty much everyone was happy ki, yeah, this is a big thing to crack. But I was still far away from my goal to get into strategy. And this was that pandemic time. I joined investment banking in I guess April 2020, and I think COVID was at its peak. So switching was pretty much very difficult at that point in time, and I didn't want to waste probably any time. Like, I didn't want to start strategy from the very beginning. So I thought, why not work on strategy by myself, encompass all that work into some of my personal hustle, my personal endeavor, so that when I ultimately join strategy, it shouldn't be a new piece for me. So I started my own blog that is called Foresight 250. And I started taking use cases from the market itself. I would pick up any problem statement, like I think there was Reliance acquisition for futures group, or how much money did IPL how much money did Dream 11 make from IPL sponsorship. So I used to pick up such strategy cases and probably put on a research thesis. I posted it on LinkedIn and everywhere. So it it helped me on two levels. First was to actually boost my strategy consulting skills. And second was, it provided me a lot of visibility. So, and I think because of this blog, one of the recruiters at Cred contacted me, and that's how I ended up being a fintech strategy professional. So I guess that's the whole career history. If you see, there has been a lot of ups and downs, right? So there must have been something which would have been constant, right? And I believe that one thing was the Trojan to actually crack all of these opportunities. And let me see the chat. And I want to know how many of you know what a Trojan actually is. Can I have some responses? Yes, no, maybe. All right. Okay. So we have a combined things of yeses and nos. All right. So I'll just briefly tell you what Trojan is. Okay. But I think for that, it'll be really nice that you watch this video. I'll just play it. Okay. Let me give you some context here. So this is a clip from the movie Troy. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Uh, this like the background is there was a war between the Greeks and the people of Troy, and the Greeks were unable to cross the walls, the defenses of the city Troy. So this is what they did.
The Greeks are praying for a safe return home. I hope the sea god spits in their offering. Lets them all drown at the bottom of the sea. This is a gift. We should take it to the temple of Poseidon.
I think we should burn it.
Burn it, my prince. It's a gift to the gods.
Father, burn it.
All right, guys. So I guess now you got a view of what Trojan actually is. So Trojan is anything that helps you, or rather helps anybody enter into a field that is generally blocked. All right. So as many of you guys have said that Trojan is that virus. So actually a Trojan, it is named, that virus category is named as Trojan because it it penetrates through your firewall, right? That's one. What I was referring to is you should have a Trojan which helps you crack all the interviews, all these opportunities. And for me, that one Trojan was basketball. I'll tell you how. Because for the probably for the past 15 years, I've been associated with this game. And when you actually spend, I don't know if you're aware of this 10,000 hours rule, but when you spend so many hours doing one particular thing, you can start relating everything around your space, around your vicinity with that particular thing. And that becomes your strength. Okay. Now you are the expert on this topic when you're conversing with someone, and it helps you put or provide immense value to the other person. And that's what I did in each and every interview of mine. I used to drive all of those interviews towards towards my basketball endeavors, probably bring it in, involve basketball in some form and shape. And trust me, each and every questionnaire, be it case studies, be it guesstimates, be it general knowledge, every time the interviewer or the panelist were happy to know or probably pitch in questions related to basketball. So although you do need specific knowledge about your fields, there should be one particular Trojan in which you are the expert. Probably you should be the expert, and probably you should know more about this particular topic than your interviewers. And what this does is it will help you provide value to your interviewer. And you should remember that each and every interview is a two-way street. It's a two-way interaction. You are gaining a lot of value when you're talking to the other person, but there should be some point where you can also provide this value. And this value can come in any form. It can be information, it can be entertainment, it can be surprise, can be a lot of things, right? So ultimately, the central point is identify what is your niche, build a Trojan around it, and lastly, use that Trojan to get and gather opportunities. Okay. Now, let me quickly see the results for the poll that we just conducted. Rahul, sorry, Ajay, can we get those results?
Sorry, Prathamesh.
Can I see those results on the poll?
1 minute.
Guys, till then, if you have any questions, just put it on the chat. The next thing that we are venturing into would be the crypto side of things. And before that, if you guys have any questions, just put it on the chat and I'll try to answer as many as possible.
Shall I end the poll or I'll
Yeah,
just share my screen?
Yes, yes. Please end the poll. It's fine. I think everybody must have answered.
I think you might be able to see it now.
All right. Should I just go on poll section?
You might have received a pop-up.
Actually, I haven't. All right. No worries. No worries. Let's not put too much mind on it. Guys, I'll just discuss the 3 questions that I asked on the career side of things. Firstly, are you certain about the field that you want to venture into, like in 5 years down the line, right? And if you answered yes, then it's a very good thing because you are quite focused on what you want to do. But one caveat or I think one thing. All right. Okay. Sorry, I just got the quiz questions answers. Let me see. All right. So 73%, that is almost 200 folks, have actually answered that they are certain about what they want to do 5 years down the line. That is brilliant. I was never aware of what I wanted to do when at least 5 years down the line. So if you guys have this view, it is perfect. It's absolutely nice. One thing or one caveat which I would want you guys to be aware of is always try to adapt to the latest things in your field, because if you're not adapting to change, you are going to be surpassed by the others who are actually doing it. I'll just give you an example. If you see the software development, SD, software development engineers, right? They started with basic C, C++, and I think now they have moved to Python, Java, and pretty much more exciting stuff. So I do have friends who are experts in C++, and they just gave up on learning new languages within their field, saying that C++ will never go obsolete. And now they have realized, and it's a little late. Always, obviously, it's like everybody has the time to recuperate, but the faster you adapt to your changes or surroundings, I think the better you'll be, the better off you'll be. That's for the ones who are actually who are certain about what careers they want to pursue in the next 5 years. For the ones who know what they want to do next in the next 1 or 2 years, but not certain about 5 years, I guess I used to belong to this category, definitely. I'll help you in terms of how I did and how I did my analysis. So what I used to do was where I tried to explore the lateral side of things as well, not just vertically, but going horizontally as well. When I was working as a consultant, I also searched for something on the parallel that was finance, right? While developing a background in consulting. So similarly, always try to venture into sideways, keep talking to people. I'm pretty sure now that social media has been so agile and things are going, content is going viral pretty much every day. I think this can definitely help you. And one more thing for this cohort of users who, or this cohort of listeners who are certain about 1 to 2 years, but not certain about the future, define your metrics in terms of how are you progressing. I'll give you the example that generally I use. So I divide these metrics into 2. One is your quantitative and one is your qualitative. And qualitative metrics have a precedence over the quantitative ones. And let me tell you which ones are the qualitative ones. The very first thing I look for when I'm transitioning from a job, let's say from one company to other, the very first thing is the work culture. You need to be absolute certain about the people that you're working with, what background they have, and usually you should aim for the people who are much better than you, because that will definitely help you grow. The peer-to-peer learning is the absolute way to go forward. You cannot learn faster than a peer-to-peer network. So that's one. Second is the nature of work. So here I would want to bust a bubble, and trust me, when people say that they absolutely love their job, either they are a business owner or they are lying. Because every job comes with three categories. One is you love that part, the other is you like a certain proportion, and the last one is you have to do it no matter if you like it or not. The whole transaction within within a person's career is to build the likes and the loves part while reducing the mandatory ones. So that's ultimately the nature of work. So also this is one of the qualitative aspect that I look forward to. And lastly is on the intellectual growth. I found what I found was when I joined Cred, I could actually see amazing folks around me. But what really appealed to me was within the 7 to 8 interviews that I gave, I could see an intellectual growth within me in terms of how I was thinking about a problem. And that was a major reason why I joined the company. So I guess these are the three reasons which at least I look forward to while switching, and probably you can define your own. And not just switching in the very first company that you're going forward to. Just don't run behind a brand. I think you can definitely opt for a startup. Just look for the metrics that you decide. On the quantitative front, first, definitely the money. I would not say that I like anybody can love the job. Like if you love the job, work for free. Definitely that doesn't make sense. That's first. And secondly is the work balance. And I'm not saying work life, I'm saying work balance. Why? Because I believe there should be a side hustle. Like everyone should do a side hustle, and this work is your balance between your professional work and your side hustle. So this is essentially the whole thing on my career side of things, and what I would like to tip you guys on how to proceed. One was the Trojan. Let's have a recap. One was the Trojan. Second is the metrics that you should define, and lastly, and I think I forgot, is the ones who are unaware of the interests that what they want to pursue in the next 1 to 2 years. Guys, I think this is high time that you should discover what are your interests. Because when I say this, trust me when I say this, that currently with the boom in social media, web 2.0, web 3.0, everything, there are ample opportunities to make money. So if at all you think, or if you have no interest or no ideas, the main reason can be that you're actually being ignorant. So I think it's high time to pick up one interest, and probably you can proceed with it, probably venture into other opportunities, but it's absolute necessity to have a direction. I think that concludes the very first part of our section. So I would love to have any questions that we have. Ajay, is my screen visible, guys?
No, Prathamesh, it's stopped now. I
Okay.
can share it again.
Sure. Let me quickly share my screen. Yeah. Is it visible?
It is.
Great. All right, guys. So any questions? Do we have all right. So Akshay says, do I have to do a master's degree in engineering from being a design engineer in R&D field? Akshay, let me give you a very, very good example of, I'm pretty sure everybody is aware. First of all, no, you do not. Okay. Now, the reason I'll give you my own example. I have known people who are 5 years younger to me and are doing much better than me, know much better than me, but have no pedigree, not even equivalent to what I have. So absolutely not necessary. What you need to have is the knowledge. Now, the way you can gather knowledge is twofold. Okay. One, by pursuing to the conventional way, going to the education route, and probably getting certifications, getting onto new schools, doing MBAs, masters, PhDs. The second way is the unconventional way. That is by networking. Reach out to people. You have LinkedIn, you have people pushing on LinkedIn like crazy. Reach out to the interested folks, ask them what should I do, how should I pursue my interests, and then probably just go ahead with it. We can also have a chat on this. Probably you can ping me personally on my Instagram handle. I'm happy to help you on this, but definitely it's not a must. Definitely not. You can pursue a master degree, no harm in that, but you can also make it big without that. Okay. The other question that I got was, what do you mean by side work, side hustle? Okay. I think Prathesh has asked me this question. Prathesh, what I mean by side hustle is anything that generates value just for you. Okay. When you're working at a job or any company, essentially what your efforts are resulting into something very big, right? And that is your founder's vision or the company's vision or the company's cause, right? This side hustle has to be all on you. Just imagine, let's say you are working for Facebook. Okay, so every effort that you put, that effort's resultant is going to build uh, Meta's brand, Mark Zuckerberg's brand. Similarly, you should have a side hustle where you are Mark Zuckerberg. That's the easiest explanation that I can give, right? And it's not necessary, right? There are people who are very happy with their job and probably having the work life balance. But at least for someone like me, and I believe you guys are more ambitious than I am, everybody should have a side hustle, and you need not have it in any academic background. If you're a good dancer, put it on the group, become a tutor. If you are good at coding, uh, push out your codes contents, like push out your profile from I think there's this uh, your GitHub accounts, just push it out, have a social media handle, solve people's problems. So I guess you can do pretty much everything, and that's what side hustle is all about. All right, guys, let me unmute a few of you, and let me just ask a few questions here, answer a few questions. So guys, just raise your hands if you have any questions. All right, so I got Nagendra, I have just unmuted you. Yeah. Can you ask me a question?
Sir, how can anyone get internship in undergraduate student?
Okay. All right. Nagendra, I think internships are always, first of all, I'll give you a stepwise example, stepwise process. First, identify the companies that you want to intern with. Second, see on their website if they have an intern program. Third, if yes, fill out that profile. Okay, and you'll end up receiving an offer or not. Second, if they do not have, reach out to the professionals who are there, and you can find easily all these profiles on LinkedIn. Okay, so just reach out to them, and you can just reach out and ask all these questions, that do you have an internship program or not. And even if they don't, try to be a little more persuasive. Okay, try to pitch in a way that you're very interested, you're ready to work for free, and you'll probably learn in the process and contribute to the org. And trust me, when you actually put it this way, that you are more eager to learn and contribute rather than just making money, they will offer you even if they don't have a position. So that's my way to that's how I used to do things, and you can definitely alter with these things. We have Shwetanshu. Okay, Shwetanshu, please ask your question.
Good evening, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
am I audible clearly?
Yes, buddy.
Yeah, sir. So my question is, can we put our interest of scraping different things on artificial intelligence? Because I think it is also the future of the world, upcoming world.
Definitely, buddy. Shwetanshu, I guess that's a very valid. I think it's not a question, and I am pretty sure you know the answer to this as well. And the answer is yes. You should definitely venture into AIML. AIML is the future. If you know metaverse, I'll be talking about it soon. So I guess yeah, that's it. We have a couple of more questions, but guys, let's quickly jump to the crypto side of things, and I'll take all the questions. If I haven't answered your questions, just reach out to me on Instagram. I answer pretty much every question that you will post. So just reach out to me there. Let me just quickly share my screen, and we'll start talking about crypto. Okay. All right. So guys, everybody's talking about what crypto is, and people have been growing bananas over this. So let me just start with, what was this buzz? How did the buzz create about crypto? And the sole idea was the transition to Web 3.0. Now many people are like, "Yeah, Web 3.0 kahan se aa gaya?" No, many people are not aware of what Web 1.0 was and Web 2.0 was. So let me just give you a brief. Web 1.0 was the time between 91 to 2020. Okay, sorry, 2000, wherein you can just see, you can just read and consume information on pages. The pages used to be the web pages used to be very static. If you remember the old days, the old versions of yahoo.com, it was very static, very cluttered, kuch bhi nahi aata tha us pe, right? And so that was the Web 1.0. It was very slow, it was very expensive, And if you remember, there used to be a dial-up connection and used to make very intricate sounds. So that was Web 1.0. And that's when like there was no user generated content. So essentially, that's when Orkut was the first entity to enter into Web 2.0, wherein you can create a social profile, interact with folks, right? And similarly, then it was followed by Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn now. So essentially, what happened was, as Web 2.0 grew, there was a rise of certain players, right? And because of this rise, they started monetizing a lot of things, especially the ad side of things. And how these things work was by gathering a lot of data points from the users. Okay. And I'm pretty sure you all are aware about that, about the case that Facebook had, or that Facebook was accused for in the data privacy issue, right? And this is what happens when you have a certain few people, a monopoly, or probably you should say an oligopoly. Oligopoly is something wherein, just like a monopoly has one dominant player, and oligopoly has a few dominant players who have the power. So if you see the Googles and the Facebooks of the world, they have a lot of data at hand, and that's why they have a lot of power. And just to decentralize all of this, right, just to decentralize all this power and give it back to the users, that was the origin of Web 3.0. So essentially what Web 3.0 is trying to do is decentralize all the power, give it to the users again, removing the middlemen. And how is it done? It is done by this technology called as blockchain. Okay. Now, without venturing into too much of technicalities on blockchain, let me just show you a good video. Okay. I think this will definitely help you. Pay attention on this one. Okay. And just ask me any questions if you have.
Have you ever wondered whether your ballot is actually counted? If you meet someone online, how do you know they're who they say they are? When you buy coffee that's labeled fair trade, what makes you so certain of its origin? To be sure, really sure, about any of those questions, you'd need a system where records could be stored, facts could be verified by anyone, and security is guaranteed. That way, no one could cheat the system by editing records, because everyone using the system would be watching. Systems like this are on the horizon, and the software that powers them is called a blockchain. Blockchains store information across a network of personal computers, making them not just decentralized, but distributed. This means no central company or person owns the system, yet everyone can use it and help run it. This is important because it means it's difficult for any one person to take down the network or corrupt it. The people who run the system use their computer to hold bundles of records submitted by others, known as blocks, in a chronological chain. The blockchain uses a form of math called cryptography to ensure that records can't be counterfeited or changed by anyone else. You've probably heard of the blockchain's first killer app, a form of digital cash called Bitcoin that you can send to anyone, even a complete stranger. Bitcoin is different from credit cards, PayPal, or other ways to send money because there isn't a bank or financial middleman involved. Instead, people from all over the world help move the digital money by validating others' Bitcoin transactions with their personal computers, earning a small fee in the process. Bitcoin uses the blockchain by tracking records of ownership over this digital cash, so only one person can be the owner at a time, and the cash can't be spent twice, like counterfeit money in the physical world can. But Bitcoin is just the beginning for blockchains. In the future, blockchains that manage and verify online data could enable us to launch companies that are entirely run by algorithms, making self-driving cars safer, help us protect our online identities, and even track the billions of devices on the Internet of Things. These innovations will change our lives forever, and it's all just beginning. Have you ever wondered whether your ballot is actually counted?
Okay. All right, guys. I think that really gave you at least a glimpse of what blockchain is. So just a quick takeaway from the whole video. It is, the essential takeaways are, firstly, blockchain is a digital network. Okay. And each block is a storage point within that chain. And each block has a capacity to store certain number of transactions. So if you see Bitcoin, each block of a Bitcoin is 1 MB and it can store up to 1500 transactions. Second thing is, once the data is logged on the block, it cannot be erased or it cannot be altered in any way. Okay. So that's the second part. And lastly, the public ledger thing. So just like we have banks and all third-party entities which regulate the whole thing, here we have independent validators on the network, and essentially anybody can be a validator. All you need to do is register yourself, and you will be one of the validators to actually validate each and every transaction that goes by. And there are certain ways to go about this, but I think in the interest of time, we'll quickly jump onto the next section. But let me have a few questions. Guys, okay, Jeevan has asked. Okay, Jeevan, let me unmute you. Yeah, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Jeevan. Yeah, please tell me.
So it's about government. They are always changing the rules about the crypto, and we are not certain about this crypto. About government rules are every time changes. So
Got it. Got it. So let me answer that, Jeevan, for you on, and pretty much for everybody who has this doubt that the government has been doing a lot of changes and regulations are in process. See, trust me, it's more about the technology. When I say blockchain technology is the future, the technology in itself will remove the third party. And why, I'll tell you why this will happen in the next subsequent slide. So although the things are very dicey right now to actually invest, probably you may have a lot of concerns whether should I invest in crypto or not. I would suggest, if you don't want to invest, it's totally fine. But knowing about blockchain and crypto and all its derivatives will definitely help you to transition when the time actually comes. Okay. So it's totally fine that you don't want to invest in crypto, but knowing about this will definitely help you in the long way. AI/ML, software, probably everything on technology will have significant part of crypto world in it in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's the whole agenda of this section. Let me jump to, okay, I think this will help you. This will actually help you understand what cryptocurrency is. Okay. All right. So let's understand it in the stock market way. Just like we have companies, right? Let's take an example. Let's say Nike. Nike is known for building shoes. Oh, sorry, producing shoes, right? So it's a shoe company. Similarly, each crypto has a protocol. Okay, just like Bitcoin had a blockchain to store data. Similarly, Ethereum has a blockchain to store data, and similarly, Solana has another blockchain to store data and to process transactions on the blockchain. So every crypto has a unique protocol which resembles a company's function. All right. So the next thing is, what are stocks? So just like Nike shares its stocks with the people to actually raise money. Similarly, these crypto protocols share cryptocurrency to actually get themselves funded, right? And who invests in cryptocurrency? The ones who are bullish or who believe in these crypto protocols. Just like, if you, why would someone invest in Nike? They would think that the shoes that they produce are really durable, they have good quality, and the company has a way to grow in the future. And that's why the people who are bullish about it, they'll invest. Similarly, it goes in the cryptocurrency way as well. So I hope you can see the parallel between the financial markets and the crypto side of things, right? And lastly, it is the equity derivative side. Okay, so just like we have stocks, futures and options. Okay, similarly for cryptocurrency, we have NFTs, we have DeFi, we have smart contracts, we have metaverse. Okay, so these are the ways in which this is the easiest explanation that I can give of cryptocurrency from a market standpoint. Okay, let me just, okay, the next thing is why crypto will acquire a huge wallet share. All right, so this is where I guess, Jeevan, your question came in, that you are very dicey in terms of should you be investing in crypto and why will crypto come up to be something very big. All right, so I'll just give you very brief examples of one of, like, all four of these use cases. I'll show you a very interesting video. Okay, first is DeFi. Okay, let me put it very straight. Right now, when you go and take a loan, from the bank. What the bank does is, let's say I'm taking a loan from Canara Bank, and Jeevan has an account at Canara Bank. I went to the bank, I asked for some loan. What the bank would do is, they'll extract some money from the savings account of Jeevan, lend it to me at a higher interest, give Jeevan a lesser interest and earn on the spread, right? And this whole process would require a lot of documentation. It takes a lot of time. And every time I want to check the status, I'll have to call the bank, right? What DeFi does is DeFi is decentralized finance. What DeFi would do is it'll remove the middleman. Okay. So Jeevan and I can directly coordinate. Okay. I can directly get funds from Jeevan without that middle cost. All right. So what it does is it'll increase the efficiency of the process. It'll get me better interest rates. And thirdly, there won't be any middleman. And plus, I wouldn't even know if it is Jeevan or not at the other end. It'll be someone else. All I would know is there is an ID. So the whole privacy thing is also intact. So that's DeFi. Smart contracts, again, smart contracts, I don't want to get into too much detail, but let's say if I proceed, if I go to a merchant and pay via my card, okay, if I'm buying something worth $100, the merchant only gets $97. Why? Because that 3% of money goes in the chain as is absorbed by acquirer banks, issuer banks, and probably the networks, the card networks. The card networks are Visa and MasterCard, banks, HDFC, ICICI, right? What smart contracts would do is the merchant can generate its own his own smart contract. What I'll need to do is I'll have to just sign on it. So let's say I am the merchant. We enter into a smart contract with that with the price of that commodity being 98. So I am also benefiting by $2. The merchant is also benefiting by $1, right? Just by removing the middleman. So that is one of the use cases of smart contract. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. Let me give you a very crude example. Okay, NFTs are something which cannot be exchanged. Okay, non-fungible. Fungible means replaceable. Non-fungible means you cannot replace it. So let's say you have a 100 rupee note. You can replace it by 250 rupee notes, right? So it is fungible. And let's say my favorite player, Virat Kohli, okay, he signs a 100 rupee note. Now this 100 rupee note is unique. Okay, this cannot be replaced by 250 rupee notes for someone like me who's a Virat Kohli fan. So now if Virat Kohli wants to make money out of such things, what he'll do is he'll just launch his own token and also give the ownership of this note via that token. And all his fans, Virat Kohli fans, can go and buy NFTs. And that's how the NFT space works. So it is very good for all kinds of artists, musicians, legends, essentially everyone who has a great social following. Okay. And last is the metaverse. Again, metaverse is something that expands your horizons. So probably I'll just show you the video. I think you will love it. And probably after this, we can have some question answers and we can conclude the session. But
have you ever wondered whether you're back?
All right. Where is the, okay. Guys, watch this very closely. I think you guys will love every part of this.
All right, perfect.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space? Huh? Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from a crater I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boz, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
Whoa.
I knew you were bluffing.
Hey, wait. Where is Naomi?
Let's call her.
Naomi.
Hey, should we deal you in?
Hey, sorry I'm running late, but you've got to see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
That is something.
It's awesome.
I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappeared.
This is amazing.
Hold on. I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow.
If you guys like it here, I have another room that you're gonna love. Check out this forest room.
Huh, let's see it.
Koi fish that fly? That's new.
This is wild. Hey, one sec, Boz. It's Priscilla.
Hey, you have to see this. Beast is going crazy.
Oh, I love that guy. We've got to show that to the kids. Can you also send that to my dad?
I'll message him.
All right, see you at home. This place is great, Boz, but there's something I got to get back to.
All right, guys. I hope you liked the metaverse example. So essentially, you can travel into a whole new world, okay, just by metaverse, by using metaverse or probably entering into metaverse. And it's just not about entertainment. I'll even give you a few use cases. So on the entertainment side, you can have concerts, you can date people from all around the globe. On the educational front, you can actually learn a course in let's say MIT or Sloan School of Management right from sitting here in India, and you can learn across the globe. Next can be gaming. Again, right now gaming is at a very nascent stage, but you can definitely enter into a VR side of things, virtual reality side of things, and get into gaming. And probably people can be making huge money out of just gaming and just playing and making money by people watching it. And I'm pretty sure everybody must be aware of esports, right? And esports, trust me, esports is going to be the one of the huge revenue generators in the time to come. If you see our generation, when we turn like probably 10 years down the line, esports will be, I think, one of the next big things in the sports arena. So I guess that concludes. Ajay, I guess we are on the time limit, and I've just finished the crypto side of things. But happy to take a lot of questions, and we can definitely extend it if time permits. So, guys, let me have a few questions, and I'll unmute, or probably let me just pick it from the chat. More on the personal side, do you game? Bro, I used to play PUBG during the lockdown, but I recently I do not have the bandwidth to actually game at all. And but I'm highly active on any of the active in sports. I play football regularly, basketball sometimes, cricket probably a few days in a month. So yeah. Okay. Sir, then where will our data ultimately go if we use crypto for transaction? Oh, that's a very good question, Adarsh. Uh, Actually, this question should have come a little earlier. What will happen is your data for the transaction is converted into something of a token, okay, a hash, to getting into more scientific terms. So every time you transact, there is an identity, a fingerprint created for that transaction called as hash, and that hash is stored in one block of that blockchain. So there is no way to actually see, for someone, for a third person or for a third party, there's no way to see how much has Adarsh transacted for, where has he transacted for, or rather who is Adarsh, right? So essentially, but it still have the ledger that someone with this identity, Adarsh having a 007 code, so 007 has transacted one Bitcoin to 009. That is the only information that will be available on the blockchain. And I think that is enough to actually validate the transaction. How can we learn blockchain if we are not from science background, not pursuing IT field? Yuvraj, I'll just tell you, there's no need to learn about blockchain. All you need to know is the basics, the use case of blockchain. If you're interested into the business side, into the crypto side of things, then all you need to understand is how a blockchain functions, and then you should venture into the crypto space. And for all the software engineers here, probably all the IT fellows who are interested in coding and everything, I guess, guys, blockchain is the next big thing, and it'll make you so much money if you learn this new coding language, that is Solidity. So most of the programming is done on Solidity for Ethereum blockchain, and Ethereum is like the go to crypto currently. It is similar to what Nifty 50 is for the financial market, Indian financial market. Okay, next, where can we get information about cryptocurrency that we can predict it? Akash, I think you should refrain from all of these questions, and probably, I know that is very enticing when you see people making huge trades and they say that they have probably gained 100 times their money use in crypto, but nobody actually tells you how much they are losing. Okay, so every day, from an Indian financial market point of view, 95% of the intraday traders lose money. 95%. And every day you see some Instagram post boasting of making so much money. So everybody posts their wins and not losses. So trust me, there is no FOMO in it. Do your own research, DYOR. Okay. Do not talk about, or probably do not get views from someone. And at this point in time, do not put a lot of money in crypto. It is, I myself just put 10% of my total investments in crypto. So be agile, get to know about the whole world, but I would still suggest not to put your hard earned money or hard savings into crypto. Exactly, Akshay. You should not do this. You should not be doing just guesswork, okay? Because till the time you're making money, it's good. But the time your speculation goes wrong, that's the time things will start to turn the other way, okay? Which cryptocurrency would you suggest if one was to start getting investing? All right, guys. Again, do your own research, I would suggest. But to be on the very safe side, I would suggest only Bitcoin and Ethereum, but majority of their share in Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin has scarcity. Only 21 million Bitcoins will be there in the future. So it will never increase. And secondly, right now, Bitcoin is owned by some very huge uh, individuals. Okay. They have the tendency to actually manipulate the market, if I were to say. So like when there is so much power into one single entity, they would refrain from the prices of Bitcoin to go down, right? If you know China's instance, the moment China banned Bitcoin, although it dropped suddenly for a few days, but again the rise was crazy, right? It was exponential. So I guess Bitcoin is a very safe bet. You should put your money in Bitcoin, but do your own research as well. This is just educational advice, no financial advices. How can we know which crypto for long term? Again, Bitcoin. What will give you more return, stocks or crypto in the coming years? Oh, this is again a very good question. All right. Have to go very subjective on this because see, to compare Tata stock versus Dogecoin. Okay. The returns on Tata is much higher if you see the past 6 months. Okay. Dogecoin gave you that big spike, but again fell like crazy, right? So I think you should, right now, as a student, you should venture more onto the mature markets. That is your current financial markets. I would suggest 90% of your investments should be in the mature markets, and probably 10%, if you are that kind of a risk taker, put it in cryptos. But guys, I think you have ample time. Earn some money, put it in savings, put it in other investments, take your corpus out, and then probably think over all of these things. But at the same time, do not give up on crypto. Try to learn as much as possible. Okay. I've been observing crypto for a while and it is too volatile. Can we really predict cryptocurrencies? As we are seeing influences like Elon Musk is manipulating. Yeah, definitely. Praneeth, good point. We can never predict. Okay. Predictions are not a way, and probably predictions have never been a way to actually trade. Even in current financial markets, you can always forecast, you can never predict. Okay, prediction meaning यार ये जाएगा ही ऊपर. That is not the case, right? There's always a chance that it will fall. So essentially, that forecasting scenario, what we call it as R squared value, that is how accurate your forecast is. So currently your accuracy of forecast for Indian financial markets is quite higher as compared to crypto. As you rightly mentioned, that it can be manipulated by influencers, right? So I think it is a very immature world, very early stages for crypto. And I guess, yeah, that answers your question. Did you ever invest in Bitcoin? Yes, I do invest in Bitcoin. What is the best platform to learn blockchain? Buddy, I do not recommend any paid platforms ever. For the sole reason being, you have everything available for free. I think you should look for webinar aggregators like Verzeo is there. If they have any really good sessions in terms of even if they are paid, you should go for it. But you should not go for programs or pre-structured courses, at least for the time being, because blockchain is something that is evolving pretty much every day. So if you're taking a course that was 1 year back, the content of it would be obsolete. So that's my take. You should still have a talk with others if you're not convinced. Sir, voice is breaking. Okay. Am I audible now?
Prathamesh, it is audible.
Sure. Got it. I think, sir, what skills are required to be perfect in biotech? Debashma, I'm sorry, I have no experience or expertise in biotech, so I cannot help you there. So Yash says, so you're saying that you're making more money through crypto? I never said that, bro. I never said that I'm making more money than crypto. Actually, I've recently started investing in crypto, probably I would say 3 to 4 months back. So I guess that is something very, very generic. Yash, you can make more money than me in crypto. It's if you want to do that speculative trading, and probably you can make huge losses as well. So essentially, all it boils down to just one thing: do your own research. That's all. All right, guys. I think I'll just wrap up now, and I think we have been stretched for over 5 to 7 minutes. Guys, if you have any questions, right, just here are the movie recommendations that you should definitely watch: Troy, Free Guy, Ready Player One, and Snowden. Snowden is all about that Web 2.0 privacy breach. Free Guy and Ready Player One will give you a glimpse of what metaverse is like, and they're very entertaining movies. And Troy, I just showed you the glimpse, and again, now it's good learning. You have Brad Pitt, great actor. Okay, and also do connect with me on my Instagram handle. Keep messaging me. I generally reply. You can connect me with on LinkedIn as well. Ajay has already shared my credentials. I think yeah, let's wrap it up. Okay, guys.
Great, Prathamesh. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, students, to hearing us for an hour. I believe the webinar was a great success, and that's what I think. I have added Prathamesh Instagram ID and LinkedIn ID in the chat. You can go through it, and you can go through my LinkedIn ID also. We'll be posting regular updates on these kind of webinars. You can stay in touch with us. You can ask questions. You can get to know about the new things, new trending topics, new technologies, and all those things. And we'll be engaging with the Pratimesh in coming days also with similar kind of webinars. If you guys can give us a thumbs up just to understand the session was good and you guys have enjoyed it throughout, just to get an update on.
Good. Cool. Guys, thanks for all the encouragement. And I would suggest, if you really want to, learn more about crypto and from the very basics, that's what I'm trying to do as a content creator, building on how to educate people right from the very basics on crypto. You can check out the profile, and probably if you like it, reach out to me there, and then I'm all hands there. Okay, guys, chalo, I'll disconnect. Okay, Ajay, thanks for having me, and hope
Thank
to
you
see
so
you
much,
guys soon.
Pratimesh.
Okay.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, announcement, this meeting will be recorded and it will be posted in your LMS and YouTube also. You can check this out. And one more good news that I'm going to be giving is whoever attended today's session, they'll be receiving a participation certificate from Verzeo on this topic, and you can wait for it for this weekend. You will be getting it in your email ID. And one more good thing to tell you about is there will be a premium talk which will be held by a Tesla person in the month of January after Christmas. I think you are excited about it. I think we'll be keeping that webinar topic as what do you say, to relate to the current scenarios or current trending topic which might be useful for your interviews or anything like that. Okay, stay tuned to us, and you can check our LinkedIn profile. You can follow us on Instagram. So that would be the thing. Myself, Ajay Billav, signing off. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Visit verzeo.com, subscribe to our channel to know more.